10 things that start big changes. Tipping points in life are never easy, but you can prepare for them if you start to understand yourself better. Our lives often change for the better and for the worse, and some people are able to sense the coming changes. Very often, such inner feelings manifest themselves before something serious that can radically change our lives. So, we will describe the 10 most striking revelations that will visit you before or at the time of cardinal changes in life. First, you will be less likely to resort to denial. When you truly understand that life has led you to a dead end, denial is a shield that helps protect you from negativity. Panic about what is happening will not make you feel better, because it is human nature not to recognize everything that is perceived by him as something wrong. Constant denial suggests that you were not yet ready for change, that you lacked confidence in your abilities. Grandiose changes in life can be different. They can turn events in the most unexpected way. And of course it's scary. But once you begin to take it more seriously and stay calm, you can come to terms with the seemingly wrong events. Once you change your attitude, you will be able to get out of a long period of constant denial. But be prepared for the fact that accepting reality will not be easy. You can visit a variety of emotions: anger, regret, or sadness. But these feelings are necessary. You could hold back for a very long time in order to surround yourself with an artificial sense of security. But life changes, and you must change with it. Everything takes time, and you know it. It is impossible to get rid of the habit of denying everything simply and quickly. This is a long process that gradually leads us to accept reality. If you give yourself the opportunity to do this, you will release a heavy burden and realize that the past was not so happy. Maybe open up to change. Second, you will start to look back and analyze the decisions you have made. Cardinal changes in life often force us to plunge into reflection. Did we do the right thing then? What led me to the current changes? As soon as we begin to stand on the threshold of change, we look back to draw conclusions and analyze our own choices in the past. We are interested in how certain events affected us, what made us where we are now, and if we could have done things differently. And with the help of these reflections, we begin to understand ourselves better. We begin to understand why we are here, and when exactly this tipping point came. And some people manage to transfer their experience into the future in order to give events exactly the development they need. Third, you will understand what you really want. The way out of the state of denial forces a person to find a compromise and harmonize real desires with himself. When you deny something, you are clearly aware that this particular event does not suit you. Accordingly, against the background of such reflections, you can form a clear desire, what you really want. In fact, understanding what you want is far from the most pleasant process, because you can understand that you were wrong for a long time, or that you have to spend a lot of effort to achieve your goal. Such conclusions are pushed by all the same emotions of regret and disappointment that appear in the course of the struggle with denial. And that's okay. It is important to understand the fact that because of denial, you have for a long time prevented yourself from thinking about what you really want, not to mention allowing yourself to pursue this hidden dream. It doesn't matter how your struggle with denial ends, because if you continue to be unable to set goals for yourself, everything else will not make sense. You need to know what you want, even if it requires some sacrifice from you. Fourth, you will start to give up unnecessary things. Letting go physically is much easier than letting go emotionally. In the course of drastic changes, you can simply take and throw away everything superfluous, old clothes, annoying furniture, and just clean the apartment in the end. Some resort to more drastic measures, moving to another housing city, or completely changing their circle of friends, work, etc. All this is natural, and is the result of the struggle with denial. You will subconsciously bring your environment to the form that matches your expectations and emotional state. Somewhere inside you will realize that all this is a sign of moving forward, that change is already here, and not in the distant future. But it's still hard to accept. Fifth, you start solving old problems. Once you begin to improve your life and embrace change, you will want to fix some of the old problems, in order to get everything back to normal. Perhaps you have not been satisfied with the city in which you live, or work, which is not enjoyable. Maybe you decide to break off a relationship with a person, because you realize that this is not what you wanted in life. In general, the process of solving old problems, for which you did not have either time or desire, has now begun. All this is a consequence of the fact that one part of your life has already begun to change and become better, but the old problems have not disappeared yet. They are still not resolved, and stand out strongly against the background of improved well-being. That's why you start doing something about it. Just don't load yourself with everything at once. Try to solve one problem at a time. You've just faced change, so it's not worth the risk of more stress from old things. 6. You will understand that the circle is closed. All these revelations and experiences associated with dramatic changes can lead you to think that the circle is complete, as if you already had a premonition that this would happen. There is an end to everything, and then a new beginning. Perhaps you will understand that the reason was really only yourself. Denial prevented you from accepting yourself and future events. And now you understand that once upon a time, you already thought about these changes. You knew that it would be so, although for some reason you tried to deceive yourself and avoid it. But in the end, life itself directed you in the right direction, so that you come to terms with yourself. Do you remember when you wanted something more? Perhaps you have long wanted to be right here and now. Now you finally have a chance to fix everything, and get on the path that seemed to you the most crooked before. This is a kind of revelation that brings relief and hope. 7. You will again remember what self-esteem is. By accepting yourself, and refusing to deny reality, you will finally understand who you really are, and what role in life is assigned to you. As if you have become a person again, who clearly knows who he is, and what he wants. Yes, you know very well what you are capable of. You understand what heights you are subject to. And you know what needs to be done. This is the relief that comes from accepting yourself. You can adjust your reflection so that society sees you exactly the way you want. It's an enjoyable process that finally gives you the freedom to express yourself. But realizing that you've been deluding yourself for so long can be hard. Some time will be spent on disappointment and self-criticism. But all this will quickly be replaced by a sense of pride and the right choice. And indeed, you were able to become true to yourself and your ideals. Finally, you realize that you deserve a better life, and are quite capable of achieving what you want. 8. Inner peace will visit you. The path of cleansing from negative emotions, and denial in particular, will lead you to finding peace. This is fundamentally different from the previous feeling of anxiety and misunderstanding of who you really are. Now you can stop and realize what you really deserve. You will begin to understand that you can express your emotions in a different way, that you can change your life due to the inner peace you have found. 9. You will clarify many things for yourself. The funny thing is that you have to figure out what you want out of life. Once you find the answer to this question for yourself, you will be able to reasonably assess what is happening. You will be able to understand what is important to you in the short or long term. Perhaps because of denial, you paid attention to the wrong things too often. But the newfound comfort will make life easier. You will be able to more easily experience changes, and come to terms with them, not forgetting what goals await you ahead. 10. You will gratefully begin a new phase of your life. Tipping points in life are never easy, but you can prepare for them if you start to understand yourself. You should be grateful for everything that happens, for everything that gives you the opportunity to experience life to the fullest. and you will succeed. You will understand how important past failures and all those negative experiences were. After all, he gave you the opportunity to draw conclusions and learn something new. Now you are ready to express your best emotions and take the first step towards change. The new chapter in your life will be whatever you want it to be. And due to the newfound lightness and acceptance, you can become happy.